Hi, I'm Kristen Oaks-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week.
Well, of all the weather stories that Louisiana could have had, a lack of water seems highly unlikely. Yet the drought and the heat hit Louisiana hard this year. In fact, there was an unprecedented lack of rainfall in many areas of the state, on top of several areas tying or beating temperature records.
Well, that led to a number of wildfires in Louisiana, with days of uncontrolled burns affecting rural areas and farms. At a time when livestock producers needed as much pasture as they could to make hay, wildfires burned up fields, especially in western Louisiana.
Probably 30 or 40% of the pasture was still sort of green and palatable to the cattle. The rest of it has turned, kind of golden and brown. It's stockpiled, so they'll still graze it, but most of the good grazing, it actually got burned in the fires.
Even where pastures didn't burn, the drought took its toll. In the Florida parishes, many areas saw D4 conditions, the highest level of drought classification. In the Feliciana parishes, John Thompson said it was a lost year for his cattle.
They were sustaining themselves. I'm not saying they were gaining any weight. If it was a minimal amount. Most of the time, these calves will gain 2 pounds a day when they're on feed and good pasture, but I don't think they were gaining even a pound a day.
The drought and heat wilted crops across the state. While much of the corn got the early moisture it needed, soybeans took the brunt of the damage. Over the summer, Adam Lemoyne was predicting a drop in his soybean yield of 10 to 15%, which turned out to be optimistic for Louisiana's crop, which suffered far more damage in many areas.
If we stay in this heat, I think within the next 3 weeks it'll look a lot like the ones that are starting to really let go now, starting to really die out. So right now we're at the point it could go either way for a lot of this crop.
Now, in total, initial estimates show Louisiana suffered almost $1.7 billion in damages, with the majority being in timber, soybeans, and cattle.
Other crops like sugarcane were also affected. The Louisiana Farm Bureau is working to get disaster aid for this year's drought, as well as stronger protections for disasters like this in the next farm bill.